Jeff Boje, it's a pleasure to see you here at the Bowl Expo here in Las Vegas.
Well, it's good to see you, Frank. It's always good to see you.
And you're, God, you've won every award, the past president, you can tell me more, the Hall of Fame. You've done everything in the bowling industry that I can think of. So you're the guy that I would like to ask questions about. Tell me a little bit about how you see the future of bowling and how it's going to expand and live on.
Well, I'll tell you about those awards first. They, I've won a lot of awards, and I'm really, really honored. I think maybe some people are a little misguided in giving them to me sometime. I'm not always sure that everything that I've done in the bowling industry really, a lot of it is still a kind of wait and see thing. Because the changes that I did make in the bowl I'm not even going to say that I made, that I was part of making, and in a position that just happened to be a convergence sort of in time,
Yes.
Kind of that I just happened to be at the spot.
What are the highlights of the changes you
I don't know
feel the best
whether
about?
they're going to be good or not. Well, the trying to bring together an industry that really, BPAA was formed in the 30s and the ABC in the late 1800s, 1890, I forget. But Peter Hamilton, the president when he was president of Brunswick, told me one time, he said, out of all the companies that he's been CEO of, and he was CEO of quite a few Fortune 500 companies, bowling is the one industry, he said, you guys fight at every single level. The manufacturers fight their customers, the customers fight the bowling proprietors fight each other. It's just fight. And he said, it's like bowling survives in spite of you.
It's amazing, huh?
And I'd like to think that I was a participant in helping put the industry in a position where it could change that and begin going in the other direction and begin some unification. And I don't even know what direction of unification, but unification is good in my opinion, no matter what direction you're going. Go there together. Because if you're so busy fighting, which really isn't even fighting, most of the time I viewed it as not understanding each other.
Okay, good follow.
And I think if I want to be remembered for something, I'd like to be remembered for having put us in a position where the industry could begin unifying and going in a positive direction, no matter what that direction was, other than down.
Yeah, so do you think it's heading in the right direction now?
I think that there's a lot of positive things going on. I still see some tension out there, but you know something? I think it's going at the right pace. I think if we would go too quick, that would be bad, and if we would go too slow, that would be bad. I think it's kind of going at the very right pace. I also happen to think we have a lot of the right leaders right now in place, the right leaders to follow me.
Yeah. Well, usually every sport in America now is having a tough time. Golf and other professional sports, they're losing the younger generation, and bowling seems to be at the buzzword on the tip of everybody's tongue.
Well, let me tell you.
Positive direction.
And I've always felt this way. I grew up in St. Louis, born and raised. My dad, he built his first bowling center right in that hub with Dick Weber, Stan Musial, Ray Blue. I mean, it was the bowling mecca of the height of bowling.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with all these people, Nelson Burton Sr., Bo Burton, you name it.
Wow.
Jimmy Carter, Pete Weber, we all kind of grew up together. And So right from the very beginning, I never saw the kind of walls really that a lot of other people saw, and never really understood them. Let me make this. When I was president, formed a group called the Young Guns.
Yes.
Now, kind of a hokey name, I guess, but it was the best thing I could think of. Because there happened to be a group of young people that were coming up that I just knew over being, years involved and stuff. And I said, more people should have the opportunity that I had, and they should be given the platform earlier, before they're all tired and worn out. Be given the platform that they can see where they can make a difference in the industry, and they don't have to wait 30 years to do it.
Good point.
And again, just because of the position I was in, the very first thing I did was I took two each meeting, the BPAA board meeting, the USBC board meeting, and each meeting, two of them would go to both board meetings and be a full voting board member of that board for that board meeting. And I can't think of one of those young ones now. And there were about 20 that isn't either already a great leader, Frankie at the USBC, Nancy, I was so honored when she gave me credit during her last speech. Young gun that I'm very proud of.
Right. Dick Corley's son?
No. He's more my age.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to leave people out, so I'll stop at that. But they are. They're all over the place in different positions of leadership. Not sure whether that can ever be reduplicated, because there just happened to be that core right there again. And again, that's why I say I don't give myself much credit as I do. I just happened to be at the right place at a time when the industry sort of needed somebody that had a good, well-balanced view of things. And because I had grown up in the business and growing up in St. Louis and growing up in a world of great proprietors but also great bowlers, I didn't see the walls. And so it became natural to me, And I'll never take credit for it, because I don't think credit will ever belong to me. It was the right time, and I just said what I thought was the right things. And right now, when you look back, it wasn't that long ago that we had the ABCW, IBCYBA in a building up in Milwaukee, a Hall of Fame in St. Louis, BPAA in Texas, and now, literally,
under one roof.
Even organizations that don't have a formal office in the building, BBIA, just about every acronym you can name in the industry, they have a presence on a unified bowling campus. And I know one thing. I've never seen any issue ever fixed in this world by not coming together and talking about it and feeling comfortable, and not just on a periodic basis, but on a daily basis. And just the fact that they're all in that one building together, they're kind of forced on a day-to-day basis to deal with problems and issues together that they may have otherwise just kind of tried to ignore.
Well, it's a great thing. Many industries should copy that model. They all have the same problems.
but and a lot of things have come a long way. I never liked seeing any of them getting knocked for anything. I've been in Chad's position because if you remember, when I was president, Roger Dawkin unfortunately left. I played ED. Kevin was in there, but Kevin was in the international bowling scene and stuff. I know exactly what it feels like to be Chad and to be being attacked from every side and kind of blamed for a lot of things that you're not responsible for. With Mike, and Mike Duquette really is my mentor and my teacher in this whole thing. With Frank as my sidekick that just seems to be able to put everything together. If anything, I play the bad guy most of the time. But you know, to watch them being forced because their offices are so close. They can't go to the bathroom without meeting each other.
That's a good thing.
And they have to talk about things. And I think if there's one thing in this world that I think that we do as a society, I want to meet the person who made up this rule socially. Never talk about politics or religion. I don't get it. The two most important things for people to discuss. And socially, we say, don't talk about it. And I'm positive that's not going to fix any problems at all with that. So the bowling campus and that unification, that being together, the forcing the uncomfortable position of discussing what otherwise, like in society, we would try to avoid and prohibit.
Gotcha.
I think that's
great wisdom. Really good wisdom. As a end question, how do you see anything here at the show at the Bowl Expo that is going to disrupt and have a positive force in growing it into the future? Any specific item?
That's going to disrupt it?
Well, make it better. That's what, like cell phones disrupted, the way people communicated with themselves. And
I don't think it's an exhibitor or anything. I think I can tell you this. When I'm at these functions, it's very clear to me we have a much lower image of ourselves than the whole world does.
yeah.
I think we're our own toughest critics. So I know that doesn't really answer your question, but when I'm at Bowl Expo, it does bring it very clear because people talk about, like, how can we fix ourselves? When the answer isn't how can we fix ourselves, because like you mentioned with other sports, everybody wants to be like us.
They do. They do. You are the best attraction that there is in the at-home entertainment.
We're not an attraction, Frank. We're America. We're the United States. Bowling is the United States. It's what we do as Americans and as people. It's the thing you do on those nights you don't want to deck yourself out and go out clubbing and everything, when you just want to chill out with your friends. We heard it from the speakers this week. Everybody has a special place for bowling in their heart. Somewhere they had a grandfather, a parent, or something in their life makes bowling special to them.
I remember Lou Holt said it this morning when he said that was the place you took your favorite girlfriend on a date. First time was to go bowling.
And you've been around long enough. Have you ever met a person that didn't have a story, a positive story about bowling?
Not in my generation.
I don't know of a single person.
Well, there you have it.
And I think that's what we just need to focus on, is being what we are. We're special. We're those warm, fuzzy slippers that we put on. Biggest evidence of that, what happened? 9/11 comes, the Twin Towers falls, one of the great tragedies of all time. Overnight, the bowling centers filled up with people. Why? They ran for comfort.
Yes.
They ran home. They ran to a place that they felt safe. They ran for their fuzzy slippers.
It's a great way
And
to
I
put
love
it.
being fuzzy slippers. I'm proud of us. And I don't mind being that.
We're with you. We love it. Great. Great interview.